Scott?
Oh, and make sure you call Roger's name.
Bob Van Haren.
Here.
Jennifer Baker.
Here.
Philip Frame.
Here.
Jim Bodenhammer.
Here.
Susan Stockton.
Here.
Nick Reed.
Here.
Kari Manuel.
Here.
Wayne Allman.
Here.
Roger Morgan.
All right, you've got the minutes of February 5th meeting for your approval.
I'll make a motion, we adopt the minutes.
Second.
Wayne Allman.
Yes.
Kari Manuel.
Yes.
Bob Van Haren.
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer.
Yes.
Jennifer Baker.
Yes.
Nick Reed.
Yes.
Philip Frame.
Yes.
Susan Stockton.
Yes.
Okay, I do have a couple of announcements, Jennifer, but I'm going to wait till the end for the reason that I know Ted was up real late last night watching that basketball game, and he needs to get home and get in bed.
He wants to.
And I know that Paul is here from Little Rock, and he'd like to get back to Little Rock once we get his business. So we'll give you some news when they get done. So with that, Scott, let's go ahead and go to that first item, please.
All right. An ordinance amending Ordinance 296 as amended with reference to zoning within the city limits of the city of Mountain Home, Arkansas, relative to changing areas owned as residential R1 to residential R1A. Whereas a proper petition was filed by property owners requesting a map change in zoning, said petition was submitted to the Planning Commission of the city of Mountain Home, Arkansas. Notice of said petition and public hearing thereon was published in a newspaper having a local circulation as required by ordinance. A public hearing was held and all remonstrances were heard, after which the Planning Commission recommended the property described herein be rezoned. Therefore, be it ordained by the City Council of Mountain Home, Arkansas, the following real estate in Baxter County, Arkansas be, and it hereby is changed in zoning from residential R1 to residential R1A.
Thanks.
That includes Lot 11 of Wiseman Terrace as shown by the recorded plat thereof. The above described property is located at 706 Kenway Street, Mountain Home, Arkansas. The last paragraph is the emergency clause.
It's located at 704.
No, these are different.
Oh.
Okay.
These are
Please,
the
the
neighbors that
council,
are
I
saying it's
represent-
okay. These
All
are-
right, Mr. Sanders.
These
Go
are
ahead,
neighbors.
Ted.
These are the neighbors that adjoin this property, okay? When my client came to see me, his spouse, her spouse is sitting here, came to see me, and they was wanting to rezone something over in a residential district from R1 to R1A, and I said, I don't think that'll happen unless the neighbors agree. Well, lo and behold, he got the neighbors. These are the neighbors that adjoin this property, and the reason they're wanting to do that is it's a pretty old torn down old building that sits behind there, and they'd like to get rid of that building to have something nice back there instead of what's there now. So they were apparently more than happy to sign that, and he is wanting to build a separate R1A. You can have two one-family dwellings on the property. He's wanting to build another little building back behind the house that's there and have it to be able to rent out. And like I say, the neighbors, if any of you went and looked at it, you'll see what was back there, and it's going to be torn down, something nice built back there. So the neighbors was wanting to do that. So if you can, I don't know whether any of y'all went and looked at it, but I think it would be good to have this. It's a big, deep lot, so wide and deep, so it's no problem for that to be there.
How does the addressing work on that?
Do what?
Like addressing, will they both have the same address or for 911 or?
That'll be 911. They'll have to deal with 911 on that.
Probably be like an A and a B, wouldn't it, Mayor?
I think so.
It's a 911 question. I mean, if he does have a different driveway into it, it's a few feet from the other one, it could completely change it, so.
No, there's one driveway,
Okay.
because they'll come down, go in the house.
Then
and
it
go
may be
back.
an A and a B or 1 and 2, but,
I don't want to deal with 911.
yeah.
Well, I never heard of Kenway Street, and I had to look it up and see where it was at.
I had no
Conway,
clue.
but yes, but not Kenway. Of course, Conway's in north, but
I had no idea. I had to go try to find it. In fact, I had to pull it up on a map and But that,
Yeah, I looked on
I
the Google,
couldn't figure out
and
where
I
it
didn't
was
even know
either.
where Joyce Street was, but I knew where Dixie was, and so, yeah. You can go down First Street, see Dixie. Anyway, I'll make a motion to suspend those, put on second reading.
Second.
Susan Stockton,
Yes.
Wayne Allman,
Yes.
Carl Emanuel,
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer,
Yes.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Jennifer Baker.
Yes.
Bob Van Haren,
Yes.
Nick Reed.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ted.
need to go more.
Yeah, we got 2 more readings.
Okay. I'm ready to send him home.
We're hustling here.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules, put on second reading, third reading.
I need to read it the second time first.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Jennifer's worried
I'm
about
her-
Cubby News.
Yeah. This is an ordinance amending ordinance 296 as amended with reference to zoning within the city limits of the city of Mountain Home, Arkansas, relative to changing area zoned as residential R1 to residential R1A.
Now motion to suspend the rules, put on third reading.
Second.
We're trying to get Ted out of here.
Carl Emanuel,
Yes.
Bob Van Haren,
Yes.
Nick Reed,
Yes.
Jennifer Baker.
Yes.
Philip Frame.
Yes.
Wayne Allman,
Yes.
Susan Stockton.
Yes.
Jim Bonehammer.
Yes.
This is an ordinance amending ordinance 296 as amended with reference to zoning within the city limits of the city of Mountain Home, Arkansas, relative to changing area zoned as residential R1 to residential R1A.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Jim Bonehammer,
Yes.
Susan Stockton.
Yes.
Nick Reed,
Yes.
Wayne Allman,
Yes.
Jennifer Baker.
Yes.
Bob Van Haren,
Yes.
Carl Emanuel,
Yes.
Philip Frame.
Yes.
I don't need emergency clause. The reason being, he's got to tear down that old building to get a permit to do it. It'll be more than 30 days, so I don't like passing what's in there.
Thank you. Good luck.
Yeah,
I was just gonna ask Ted, is he gonna be like a rental, or is it gonna be like an Airbnb rental?
I think it'd be a permanent.
Permanent rental. because
Permanent rental.
Once my son goes to ROTC college, and then we're gonna move back in the smaller home and then rent out the front house.
Okay. I was just gonna say, because you wanna make sure if you're gonna do a short-term
Yeah.
Airbnb.
The old building already has sewer, water connected, so.
Okay.
Good on you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Congratulations to your son, too.
I'll go home
Appreciate it.
and try to survive from last night's ball game. That was stressful.
Yeah, it was stressful.
I take it they lost.
Very stressful.
Is that the win that was so close?
2 points in double
Oh,
overtime.
dear.
117 to 115, double overtime.
All
Oh.
right, Scott.
I've been there, I would have made that last shot.
Of course you would.
On this next one, I'll make a motion to suspend the rules and read by title only.
I'll second that. I didn't want you to read these 18 pages, Robert.
Susan Stockton,
Yes.
Wayne Allman,
Yes.
Carl Emanuel,
Yes.
Jim Bonehammer,
Yes.
Bob Van Haren,
Yes.
Nick Reed,
Yes.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Jennifer Baker.
Yes, you know, the title itself is pretty long.
Yeah, this is an ordinance authorizing the issuance and sale of not to exceed $20 million of water and sewer revenue improvement bonds, Series 2026, by the city of Mountain Home, Arkansas, for the purpose of financing the acquisition, construction, and equipping of various additions and improvements to the city's water distribution system, authorizing the execution and delivery of a seventh supplemental trust indenture pursuant to which the bonds will be issued and secured, authorizing the execution and delivery of a bond purchase agreement providing for the sale of the bonds, authorizing the execution and delivery of an official statement pursuant to which the bonds will be offered, authorizing the execution and delivery of a continuing disclosure agreement providing for the ongoing disclosure of certain information regarding the city and the system, prescribing other matters relating thereto, and declaring an emergency.
Wow.
All right, I think Mr. Steve Hill's going to tell y'all what this 20 million is going to be used for first.
And he's gonna read everything we're about to read.
I did not write that title. So the Southwest Tank to Midway Tank project, if you remember, was identified in our 2024 master plan, and it was rated critical as part of our infrastructure improvements. And part of the reason, and if you also recall, we did a preliminary engineering report that was delivered in November of 2025. So this is just the next step in this project. Today, the 1080 pressure zone, which is served from the 201 pump station, that's the only pump station serving that entire area, and that pump station was built in 1969. So this project is going to solve that problem by having a pump station built at where the current Southwest tank is located. And then we'll have approximately 23,000 feet of 16-inch water main that will be installed, connecting Southwest tank to the Midway tank, and so also some additional piping that will loop in other areas of the system. And so basically, what we'll end up with is some redundancy that's really necessary in our system. So if a failure were to happen at 201 pump station, this additional pump station will be able to supply water to that area, which includes our hospital and several of our major businesses in that area. And so it's not just a project to expand, but it's really a project that gives us expansion, but more importantly, provides us some protection against major failure in the distribution network. So if you got any questions, I'll be happy to answer
What's
them.
the timeline on all this? As far as
So we've got probably a year, maybe a little bit less design. So let's say 9 months of design work, maybe a year, because there's actually quite a bit of survey work and easement work that has to be done. And then, so we'll start construction hopefully sometime in 2027.
and
That's
then
our
it'll
plan.
take a while to get all that completed.
But it's gotta start sometime.
Yeah. Well, this is the beginning, aren't it?
So Steve has given you an explanation of the project. Paul Phillips is here with Cruz and Associates, and he can, Gordon Kutak is usually here, but Paul's going to wear both hats tonight and explain the bond structure and how this is going to work.
Thank you, Mayor and members of council. Glad to be here before you again. Paul Phillips, Senior Managing Director at Cruz and Associates. I think most everyone here has been through this process before. Just a little background probably is worth mentioning that I've had the pleasure of working with the city on quite a few bond issues over a long period of time, more than 20 years now, I guess. Worked with the hospital on theirs, county, which was quite some time ago, over 20, and also the college here. So love Mountain Home and glad to be here. So this particular project is going to be funded with the $20 million water and sewer revenue. And the ordinance before you tonight is similar to the other ordinance that you adopted in 25 for the $10 million piece. And what this ordinance lays out, all the documents that were mentioned in the title of the ordinance are in possession of the city clerk at this time and available for inspection by anybody. So the ordinance itself references in various sections that those documents are available, and they are. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we've confirmed it. So just wanted to make that clear. The ordinance then authorizes the sale of the bonds. It authorizes the mayor to sign the various documents associated with the sale of the bonds. And so with this, or with the adoption of this ordinance, we're essentially green lighted to kind of move forward at an expeditious path, which we're trying a little bit to thread a needle in terms of the timing of the audit report and sale of the bonds. But if things go as we currently have it on the table for the structure, we would sell the bonds roughly mid-March and close the last day of the first quarter, March 31st. We may have to be a little bit flexible, but that's our goal, and I don't think we're planning on changing it until some third party tells us they can't meet a particular deadline we've given them. So I'm happy to answer any particular questions about how we've structured it, where the market is, or anything else that would be helpful or beneficial to anybody.
Where is the market at, and are you seeing a lot of high demand for people wanting these bonds?
There will be high demand for these bonds. That's a really good question. I'm glad you asked it because the previous bond issue we tried something a little bit different, and we were very fortunate, y'all were very fortunate, I should say. I just steered the bus, and we applied for a bond insurance policy, and we received that bond insurance policy at a insurance premium that way more than offset the cost of it. In other words, our debt service was greatly reduced by having it available. And what that allowed us to do was sell the bonds with a AA credit rate. So we have a proven strategy that we hadn't used in the past because we had a structure that was not quite, we'd had monthly pays and no call protection and things of that nature in the past. But when we got up to a bigger number, we needed to come up with a structure that was more appropriate for a larger group of investors. So we have more demand, and more demand will allow us to drive those rates down. So we anticipate the same thing, and we expect that to probably go very similar to where you'll have banks, individuals. We got good support in this area of the state from individuals that want to know. So I expect much of the same, and then because this one's bigger, we'll see some of the larger institutions, names that you've heard of before, insurance company maybe. But we expect to market these again with a AA credit rating. Got a 20-year final maturity. We updated kind of where we thought the market would be if we were selling these bonds today, and we were at a 420. So that's better than where we were last time we sold the bonds, which was closer to the mid-4s, which still wasn't a bad deal then. So market seems right now to be holding pretty steady. So hopefully, getting in here in the next 20 days or so, we can kind of remove the interest rate risk and get this thing accomplished.
So I had somebody today ask me, what is a bond? Is there a short answer for that?
Well, usually, in just, in some simple form, it's a loan at the end of the day. It would be similar to a mortgage loan. It's just in this particular case, the bonds are a loan, and the city's going to use that loan to make utility improvements. And in return to promising to make the payments, the city's going to pledge water and sewer revenue. And so instead, there's no mortgage, it's just water and sewer revenues. So it's a loan.
Yeah. That's what I told him, so I hope I was right.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll make a motion, suspend the rules, put it on second reading.
Second.
Susan Stockton,
Yes.
Kari Manuel,
Yes.
Wayne Allman,
Yes.
Nick Reed,
Yes.
Bob Van Haren,
Yes.
Jennifer Baker.
Yes.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer.
Yes.
This is an ordinance authorizing the issuance and sale of not to exceed $20 million of water and sewer revenue improvement bonds, Series 2026, by the City of Mountain Home, Arkansas, for the purpose of financing the acquisition, construction, and equipping of various additions and improvements to the city's water distribution system, authorizing the execution and delivery of a seventh supplemental trust indenture pursuant to which the bonds will be issued and secured, authorizing the execution and delivery of a bond purchase agreement providing for the sale of the bonds, authorizing the execution and delivery of an official statement pursuant to which the bonds will be offered, authorizing the execution and delivery of a continuing disclosure agreement providing for the ongoing disclosure of certain information regarding the city and the system, prescribing other matters relating thereto, and declaring an emergency.
Motion to suspend the rules, put it on third reading.
Second.
Nick Reed,
Yes.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Susan Stockton,
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer,
Yes.
Jennifer Baker,
Yes.
Wayne Allman,
Yes.
Kari Manuel,
Yes.
Bob Van Haren.
Yes.
This is an ordinance authorizing the issuance and sale of not to exceed $20 million of water and sewer revenue improvement bonds, Series 2026, by the City of Mountain Home, Arkansas, for the purpose of financing the acquisition, construction, and equipping of various additions and improvements to the city's water distribution system, authorizing the execution and delivery of a seventh supplemental trust indenture pursuant to which the bonds will be issued and secured, authorizing the execution and delivery of a bond purchase agreement providing for the sale of the bonds, authorizing the execution and delivery of an official statement pursuant to which the bonds will be offered, authorizing the execution and delivery of a continuing disclosure agreement providing for the ongoing disclosure of certain information regarding the city and the system, prescribing other matters relating thereto, and declaring an emergency.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Bob Van Haren,
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer,
Yes.
Wayne Allman,
Yes.
Jennifer Baker,
Yes.
Kari Emanuel,
Yes.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Susan Stockton,
Yes.
Nick Reed.
Yes.
All right, that takes care of
We do
that.
need emergency clause
Motion
on
to
it.
adopt
Okay.
emergency clause.
Second.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Jennifer Baker,
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer,
Yes.
Bob Van Haren,
Yes.
Nick Reed,
Yes.
Kari Emanuel,
Yes.
Wayne Allman,
Yes.
Susan Stockton.
Yes.
Now, that takes care of that. Mr. Paul, have a safe trip back. Might get
Thank
home
you.
dark. We'll be in
Thanks,
touch.
Paul.
Thanks for coming.
Okay, the next item you've got on the agenda is again by Steve Hill, and this is the contract for Garver Engineering. Steve, if you'd like to present that, please.
Feels like this has been a long time coming right here, so take a moment. So we got the lake intake, water transmission main, and water treatment plant project. And this contract, if you recall, we've been working on this since 2014. And so, like I said, it's been a long time coming. We released a request for qualifications in October 15th of 2025. We received 2 statements of qualifications on November 14th of 2025. We had a selection committee that reviewed both of those submittals, and Garver LLC was unanimously selected as the most qualified firm. This agreement that we're asking for permission to enter into covers the preliminary engineering services for the project. That will include, in this preliminary phase, is geotechnical investigations at the new intake site, the transmission main, and at the water treatment facility. Some survey and easement work that needs to be done to meet Arkansas Department of Health requirements, and development of design information memorandums. And those I call them DIMs, will be used to further and help lay out construction drawings and get us to about 15% of design for this project. Any questions? Thank you.
I'll make a motion that we enter into the agreement with Garver.
Second.
Jim Bodenhammer,
Yes.
Jennifer Baker,
Yes.
Bob Van Haren,
Yes.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Nick Reed,
Yes.
Kari Emanuel,
Yes.
Wayne Allman,
Yes.
Susan Stockton.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Kirby, can you have this ready by all this project for us, maybe? Okay. All right, very good. So the last item we've got on here tonight is an update from Paul Neal. If y'all remember when you approved the budget this year, there was discussion about getting some quarterly updates from Paul as to what's happening. We recently met, Nick Reed was part of that group, and Steve Hill, and we met with Paul, and I believe you were here, weren't you, Chris? And we kind of sat down and discussed what we thought might be the information y'all would like to see going forward. Nick was involved in that. So Paul's here to bring you up to an update as to what's happening at the recycling center.
Thanks for having me, Mayor, Council, and thank you so much for your generous appropriation. So, as you'll see, when I start throwing some numbers at you, it's much needed. So, let me hand this out real quick. Go in here. Thank you, sir. I did decide, since y'all gave it to us, for the calendar year, to go ahead and put everything in calendar year form. We usually use the fiscal year ending in June. Put the numbers together for the year, because that's what charges. I thought that would be the best way to do it. So, kind of a overview here of 2025 compared to 2024. So the first three items there, I should have put pounds on there. I noticed when I was looking at this right before the meeting, but that's what those are when you see those volumes on the top half of the sheet there. So cardboard volume, you can see, is the big driver. That's down about 5%. Everything else down a little less than 14%, and overall down 7% for the year. So first question is why? Obviously, right? So a couple of reasons for that. Number one was discontinue that curbside service. So at the time, that was roughly about 25% of our business. So you can see we've gotten some of that back, although that wasn't for the full year. So I think right now it looks like we're down about 10%. Is where we are right now compared to what we were before that curbside piece fell off. So another thing with the cardboard, while it's the reason why it's down a little bit is because not everybody wanted to pay us. We did start charging for that service. If you recall, I mentioned that started last October. So we're seeing a little bit of volume loss there as well. So
what percentage did you say dropped out?
We lost about 20% of our volume, sure did. So seeing a little, that was initially a little bit less. It looks like it may come out closer to 15. Most of those with the small users. I guess it could just, cram it in the trash, unfortunately. So we did lose, some there.
One would hope they would take it to the recycling center themselves.
And we've seen some. We have seen some of that. Yes, we have. Okay. So we have seen some small labor expenses with dropping that curbside and with that loss of revenue there. Just about 5% on the client side labor there. So a little bit of savings there. The bad news also on the revenue side. That was down about 19% versus the volume at 7%. So the rest of that is price. Unfortunately, prices continue to go down. So it's not a pretty scene right now. Total bottom line I've got on the bottom there, you can see we lost about $75,000 last year, close to 50 the year before. So not a positive year overall. So hopefully with your help, we'll be able to improve that some this year. So let's talk about that. What are we doing to try to get out of this? So your appropriation will help. We're hoping to net, I think I said this the last meeting, around $50,000, somewhere in there. We're probably going to collect, looks like maybe around 60 to 65 for our cardboard charges. We're going to lose about 10, 15,000, something like that. So between those, your generous appropriation and those charges that we had to implement, hopefully that'll get us back close to for this year. So that's what we're hoping for. Some other positives. Our client numbers are starting to go in a positive direction. The last few months here, we actually averaged a little under 40 clients per month last year. Excuse me, that was 2025. This year we're up to 43. So we have been going up, and that's a big driver of our revenue there is that Medicaid is our largest source of revenue. So hopefully we'll keep that moving in the right direction. So last year we raised a total of about $28,000 in donations and in kind as well. We also have started an endowment an endowment fund a couple of years ago, and that's up to about $55,000 we've got in there. So we started with nothing on that about 2.5 years ago. So we've made some good progress there. So still out there beating the bushes, looking for another job. We've got a little bit of time that we could do a little more work. We've looked at a couple of smaller jobs, to try to generate a little more revenue. It's tough to find. It has to be something that's viable for us and for the employer too, but we're always looking. Anybody have any questions, or is there anything else you want to see going forward? I could give you all the volumes broke down. If you wanted to do that, it's a lot of different items. The plastic market, that's another bit of bad news, has really crashed, so we're hardly getting any revenue there out of that stuff right now.
Have you had any success or attempted to work with any grant writers?
I have talked to a couple here in the last couple of months. I've got one guy looking around for us. There's just not a lot out there right now. Another guy basically told me that, and I've been told this before, we need to get back to being a viable business before we're going to have much luck with grants.
Have you done any kind of fundraising?
We have. We send letters out all the time. We've had, a couple of drives with our cardboard customers and sent out various campaigns through the mail, and that's where most of the money has come from, is just direct donations going out, talking to our businesses and our customers.
What about glass? Do you?
There's no revenue whatsoever in glass.
Wow.
No, we haven't ever gotten any revenue in it. It's one of those items, glass and electronics, that we get zero revenue. Of course, costs us some labor to handle it, but we don't get any revenue out of it. Just trying to be a total recycler for the community. Those are a couple of things that are at risk because while we don't get any revenue, we can't have it cost us anything. I don't know if you recall, but at one time we stopped taking glass because it actually cost us at that time several $100s more than what we got for it for the shipping. So at least these people are taking care of the shipping costs for us.
What electronics do you take?
We take, anything computer related, with the exception of batteries, all kinds of, TVs. That's our biggest thing, stereo equipment, even phones. No small electronics except for microwaves.
Now, on the computers that you're taking, you guys have actually people pulling the processors and pulling the RAM chips and things like that? Because I've been seeing more and more that there's salvageable gold out of some of those units, or there's rare metals in other ones. And
right.
So is that something that you're able to do?
That is not something that we're able to do. That's and certainly something the clients couldn't do. It's funny you say that. I've got somebody that tells me he's interested in maybe giving us some a little money for those items, but I don't know. It's kind of tricky because here we've got a guy that's taking it now, and he takes all the TVs, which are worthless, basically. Time you have to pay to get rid of the plastic. So I'm sure he makes a little bit of money out of the stuff you're talking about, but he takes everything. So, you got somebody else willing to pay, but does he really want to take everything? He says he does. But what happens, if he all of a sudden says he doesn't want it and we've already, went away from the other guy, then what? So, it's tricky.
Do you recycle plastic other than the bottles?
We do. Well, mostly it's just different types of bottles, actually. It's all household plastics, yeah. We don't do like plastic sheeting and anything like that, or bigger stuff. Mostly just household bottles. Okay. Our largest by far is just the clear pop bottles. So we get that's probably about 80% of it. Right now, since the market has cratered, it's currently worth nothing either. We don't have any revenue coming in off that either right now.
That's frustrating.
It is frustrating.
Is it because there's been so much recycling in other areas?
That's part of it, and the price of oil, the way it's been so low long-term, has a lot to do with it, too. Mm-hmm. And then there's been several countries overseas in recent years, and this is plastic and paper and cardboard as well. Many countries overseas have just stopped taking it. We've been shipping it to them for years, and a lot of those markets are closed, including China for the most part.
Right.
We're lining up. Oh, yeah. We also do a lot for the lab as well. That's where all our other jobs are and that's on the Baxter side and on the Vantive side now. So we actually do jobs for them, 2-3 different jobs. And
are they like piecework jobs?
They are, yes, sir. Yes. And we have some of our clients. Some of it is just real simple work, and some of our clients that have physical handicaps as well can do it that can't do the recycling.
Have you guys talked to Wapsie Fly at all?
Not in several years. We looked at some work for them. It's been probably 10, 15 years ago. Probably wouldn't hurt to go back to them. I probably need to do
I know
that.
they do a lot of piecemeal stuff. They do a lot of their self-packaging and things like that.
They do. A lot of those little small, intricate jobs are really tough for some of our clients to do.
Right.
And make very good time on it. So that was kind of the deal that we looked at with them. We just couldn't get enough of it done to make it worth their while.
Right, understand.
And Paul, the stuff you do for Baxter and Van, if I'm correct, they bring that to you. You do that on site, correct? Or do you go there?
Actually, both.
Okay.
They bring some of it to us. It depends on the job. But there's one job that we do, and some of those low-functioning clients do that I was talking about. We actually pick it up 2 days a week over there.
Okay.
Yep.
That's great that you've got that working relationship.
They've been real good to us over the
Yeah,
years.
it'd be nice if there's some of the other places around here that would do that with you.
We're looking.
Is vinyl siding recyclable?
It is recyclable, but not for us, not around here. I looked for a market for it a couple of years ago. It's just tough.
You got something to get rid of?
No.
There's many items that are recyclable. Of course, we get those calls all the time. Even styrofoam's recyclable, but you got to have a viable market for it. So, I could ship it across the country. They'd give me $200 for it after I paid $1,400 to get it there. So,
It might be nice to print out another sheet. We used to put it years ago in our water bill or something about what you do and don't take. Because I know, especially styrofoam, people are confused about, or vinyl, or certain plastics that you may not take or that you don't have a market for.
that's probably a good idea. We need to do that again.
I think that, I'd put it on my refrigerator or something to remind myself. And also the fact that you take 1s and 2s but not 5s. So, you get this plastic cup from McDonald's and you look on the bottom and it's a 5.
A lot of them are.
So I think that would help your sorters a lot if people were reminded that you only take 1 and 2 but not 5. Because of course I'm thinking like, okay, why am I drinking out of a 5? If that's not recyclable. But anyway. But I don't know what is the difference between 1, 2, and 5?
They're just different grades, a little bit thicker, and I think they have even some different things, that they're different grades of plastic that they're made with.
Mm-hmm.
So the ones are real flimsy, if you notice that.
Like
That's why,
this?
there you go. So that's why they don't make the McDonald's cups out of that.
Yeah, I can see why that.
Yeah.
Well, years ago, they used to have styrofoam ones, so at least they did away with that.
Yeah,
but-
true that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Paul, I appreciate you guys meeting with me and meeting with me and the mayor and generating this. This is just a very basic report. That's kind of what we told these guys to hit. If you guys see anything else you want to add to this, we can definitely do it. It sounded like they were pretty
I got all
easy to
kinds of
work
numbers.
with.
I bet.
I also appreciated that here you're working with the grant writers and got some solutions on the horizon possibly. So I appreciate that very much.
We'll keep trying.
Yeah, I think a lot of us want to know what you're trying to do to help yourself. So, and I know there's limited options.
There are.
You can't make somebody raise the price of plastic or raise the price of cardboard. You don't have any control over that.
That's a big problem with us. We don't have any control over our revenue, over our prices.
Yeah.
And same thing with the Medicaid rates for the clients. We can't change that either.
True.
So haven't had an increase there in years. So.
All right, Paul, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll see you in a couple, 3 months.
Okay, sounds great.
Appreciate it.
And thanks again for the appropriation. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. All right, I do have a couple things to share with you. Now, one I left in front of each of y'all. I had some visitors this week from the Junior ROTC program here. You've all got some information about that. The Junior ROTC has been chosen to go this year to Washington, D.C. on July 4th to participate in the Independence 250 celebration and parade. So you've got some information there. They're trying to go out and beat the doors in the community, and they've got a fundraiser planned, and they're looking for any help they can get to fund a trip for those kids up there. I think they need to raise about $56,000 to get those kids up there and back. So quite an opportunity for those kids to get to go up there and do that. And if anyone's interested in helping them. Another bit of news is as of about 10 o'clock this morning, we got an update from Allison. We are now sitting around 168 corporate memberships. The corporate stuff is just, they actually spent, I think from 6 to 8 yesterday morning and then from 11 to 4 at a Danfoss and signed up 150-something members at Danfoss.
Wonderful.
And they've got a lot of things like that planned the next few weeks at different businesses around town. And then we've also already signed up right at 60 total individual type memberships. So they're getting very busy over there, and a lot of activity on that side for Allison and that crew over there. And I actually went to Danfoss yesterday and set up in the break room and kind of like a health fair, and we're there to sit down and get those people enrolled in it. So got a lot of those scheduled the next couple of weeks right there. Anything else?
Motion to adjourn?
All in favor?
Aye.